going, everybody? It is Bean here with another Snow Bright project video for you guys, and today is just going to be a nighttime drive. I got a very special guest in the car with me tonight. It's my mom. She's just here to say hello, stay with company, and hope we get home without any issues. So I just want to see how everybody's doing. You know, we still haven't done any of the projects that I was hoping to do before winter ends. So, but I want to know a little bit about you guys. I want to know what you guys have as project cars. I want to know what you guys think are cool little project cars. Of course, you know, some people have bashed me in the past for this one, but I honestly think if I were to make this one, you know, the perfect way, it's a great commuter car for going on road trips because it's got space in it. It's got a lot of room in it, surprisingly, you know, for being such a smaller car. So you know, we've talked about this car in the past, and we've talked about other cars, but I really want to know what you guys have as a project car. Like, what is the project car that you're working on? What's a project car that you want to be able to be working on? Like, what's that dream car you want to have? And you know, I think I've talked about this in the past. Mom, I know I've talked about it with you, pero like, what's that car that you have always wanted? ¿Cuál fue el carro que siempre te ha gustado tener? Este carrito. ¿Vos te gusta este carrito? You like this car that I have now?
Yeah.
What about when you were able to have your own car back in the past?
I like
What was your favorite car?
truck.
A truck, right?
Yeah.
Which one? I know you had a couple. I know you liked the Nissan back in the day too.
Yeah.
You're a Toyota girl through and through. That's probably where I get my love for Toyota.
Yeah.
And you and I have talked about this, but you remember how I've talked to you about the Impala, right? I mean, the 1967 Impala, the one that I've always wanted to get. The one that I always wanted to get.
See.
Basically, being full Toyota. I think I've shared photos of our truck on the channel, but if I haven't, I'll put a photo up here. You know, with this content of our blue truck. My family, you know, my mom and dad bought this truck back when I was not even born yet. They bought it back, I think, in '95. Back when it only had 6,000. I was gonna say como unos 6,000, like 6,000 miles on it.
No.
Como unos 6,000, no?
No, menos.
Menos. Oh, so less than 6,000 miles on it. And now it's got over, I think last time I saw it with my dad, he had gone it to about 290,000 almost. Yeah, yeah, I don't know how the fuck you guys did that. They would drive it from Utah to LA like it was a beater, bro. Like they never cared. It would never leave them stranded. And luckily, I've been able to say the same thing about the Scion. It has yet to leave me stranded, even with the accident, even with, you know, a couple of scares as soon as I get home. But in the moment of driving it from point A to point B, I have yet to be stranded on the road. There's been a couple of moments where it's, you know, it's giving me some scares and some what the fucks, but for the most part, I don't think I've ever been stranded or left on the side of the road with most of our cars. I think that's where my love of Toyota comes from. Is both my parents are just die-hard Toyota people. They've owned Toyotas all their lives. My grandparents owned Toyotas. I know el papá de mi papá que tenía un Land Cruiser or something like that. We didn't have the Tundra yet, right? And so, you know, my dad didn't have a Tundra yet, so we had the four-cylinder, four-wheel drive pickup, 94, which is the one that's been in the family this whole time. My dad had a 1990 V6 two-wheel drive, which is the one I actually used to drive to school with for a couple years before he gave me the Honda. I remember that.
Oh, sí, sí, sí.
Yeah, porque él me hacía manejar la...
Sí,
Yo me tenía que manejar la troquita antes que manejar la Honda.
sí.
And then he gave me the Honda, and then he gave me the Camry, but I kind of did my dad dirty, bro. I didn't want the Camry. It wasn't my style. You know, I feel bad because I know he put his time and effort in it, but I think he enjoyed that car a lot more than I would have, so I think in the end it worked out. And then, of course, in 2018, you know, I was able to purchase this one from a repo with the help of my brother, and we've been working on this one since. you know, and it wasn't too bad when I got it, but it did have its issues. It still has a couple of those issues. Like a lot of the interior was kind of shit when we bought it, and it's just been a pain in the butt to try to fix on this kind of thing. And of course, then after the accident, you know, she was worried about, you know, if I would ever be able to drive the car again, because she was just worried that, you know, mentally I might not be able to get behind the wheel of the car. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a couple months, maybe a year, to get back in the car after I crashed it, just because of the whole experience behind it. You know, I honestly still to this day don't think I should have been alive. With that being said, it's been a fun time to explore all these other things. And of course, you know, working in the automotive business, you know, as a manager and as an employee of stuff, and seeing, you know, people come in with your oddball stuff. Like I've gotten the derby guys, I've gotten the, you know, the old 1950s and 60s classics, Fords, Chevys, all that kind of stuff. And seeing how passionate these guys were about their cars. And sure, you know, I'm not as old school as maybe a lot of them were, but they understood, you know, the aspect of why I'm so passionate about the cars is because they're passionate about cars. You know, the reason behind it. I enjoy cars just as much as the next guy. Sure, I might not have the same experience of working on carburetors or, you know, being able to tear down an engine as much as some of these other guys do. But, you know, the whole reason that I started this DIY channel and just a project channel in general was to show you guys that with the experience and with wanting to give it a try, there's nothing you guys can't, you know, give it a whirl yourself. You know, it's been fun to do this kind of stuff, and I'm actually gonna have a video brought up later this week or next week where I'm replacing the wiper blades on this car before winter, just in case I have to drive it in the winter. Don't expect to, but I like to have everything prepared for the oddball situation that I might have to drive it. So we gotta put some wiper blades on it and make sure that she's good. And I'll probably be doing a multi-car video on that one, because we also have the Sequoia and that I need to get ready for winter. And we just have, you know, a couple projects there to get through there. I think my dad was telling me the Sequoia is misfiring a little bit, so I think we're gonna have to change spark plugs on that one if I haven't already. So I think we're gonna get into that project here sooner rather than later. And I can do that one myself. It's not too hard of a job to do. And then this one needs its spark plugs changed. I haven't changed those in a couple years. It's been maybe 30,000, but at the same time, I do know that the spark plugs are starting to cause some issues with the ignition coils going bad, and I'd rather just change them out before anything else happens. And I think that's really all I have. We're just enjoying the nice little drive home. I don't know about you, Mom, but I love driving home like this sometimes. I like the dark. I like seeing all the lights. Of course, you know, more lights means more people, but at the same time, it's kind of inevitable, don't you think, Mom?
Yeah.
It was bound to happen. You know, we were starting to see the growth, and I remember my mom being able to tell me, you know, I used to be able to cross the street. You know, where we live, you know, you used to be able to cross the street and not have to worry about ever getting hit by a car or having to run across the street, or not even being able to cross the street in general. Now I don't even think you can make a left turn or, you know, or cross the street without just having to take the crosswalk, you know, 5-6 blocks down from where we live now. But I knew growth was going to happen. I mean, it's a small town. It's inevitable once it starts getting bigger. Just like, you know, just like Park City and Salt Lake have grown exponentially since I was a kid. You know, we used to be able to go to Walmart and you know, the shelves would be stocked and there wouldn't be people lining up. Now, you know, you go in there and it's, you know, balls to the wall and people are getting everything. And so it's just, it's weird to know how much everything has changed over the years, but I welcome it because it has to be. You know, we can't, you know, just like in life, you can't stay stagnant. If you stay stagnant, things move past you and things just move on. But going back to what we were talking about, right? Like, it's been fun for me to watch what this car has gone from, from everything that has happened to it, and where I see it going. And I think that's what's been fun about it. I've always heard the stories of people fixing the cars up and making them look nice and making them look right, to now where I'm feeling with this car, and knowing that I'm just a couple of things away from this car ultimately being where I wanted it to be. And I think that was the whole process of not giving up on something, right? There's that meme of, like, I don't know if anybody else has seen it. If I find it, I'll post it on the video. But there's that meme of, like, the waterfall, like that big crater inside the water, right, to clear out water. And there's a duck, like, running right next to it, right? And it says "me" with all my money. And then the crater is like, project car filling, or project car projects. And I was like, that's pretty fucking smart, because, of course, it's inevitable, right? We're gonna have to be fixing something. As soon as we get everything fixed, something's gonna break or something's gonna go, we're not gonna like the way something looks on it. We're gonna want to change it. And so I think that's what's been fun about it for me, is the fact that we've been able to enjoy how this car has gone from, in my eyes, such a basic little crappy car, to something that back in the day maybe I would have never thought of, to something that is slowly becoming a fun little project car too. Hopefully by next summer, when we take another vacation, or once we decide what we want to do for a vacation, I can take this one out there again, and we're gonna have the time of our lives being able to drive this car, being able to, take it everywhere, and have everything prepared for it without having the worries on it, right? So that's really all I had for you guys today. And I know my mom enjoyed this time, and I think she's I don't know how excited she is to be on the channel yet, but I think I don't think she'll mind having a little cameo in it this time around. But I just want to say thank you guys for the continued support. I hope you guys enjoyed this little break the pace nighttime drive as we go home. So you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.